Okay, today I am doing a bridal look. I posted one yesterday and we're gonna do something similar but just less winged linery. So I'm not wearing a shred of makeup right now. First thing I'm gonna do is my concealer, and I'm gonna be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer because it's the best in my opinion. So I'm going to use my fluffy brush. It's a fluffy, can you see? I think so. Fluffy concealer brush. I'm just going to dab it and then make myself not so nasty looking. So just all around there. So forehead. Just dab it on there, I guess. Yeah, under my nose, and then a little bit more on the redder areas, and then under my eyes. So we'll go there, and we'll go there, because I've got some dark circles going on under the eyes. Try not to stab yourself in the eyeball. It does not feel that good. Okay. I'm looking okay here. Okay. So here we go. Kind of blended it in. So ooh, I got white face. Woo! Okay. The problem areas, let me just. Nasty. Okay. So now that my concealer's done, I'm going to take a, where is it? Here we go. Flat top kabuki brush. Or whatever. Brush. And my foundation. Can you see? And I'm just going to kind of buff that in all over the skin. So buff that in. And you want to either go in like, you want to go down or you want to go in circles on the bottom. So, okay, important thing here. I see this all too often. You gotta blend that shit like down into your neck, especially if you're using a shade that's not totally matchy-matchy to your skin. Because you don't want that like line right there and right there. It's not so attractive, so you want to make sure that's it's not going on. Okay, almost done here. Okay, so now I've got my foundation on. Like I said, I'm looking a little white, but I'm a whitey. Okay, I don't tan very well at all. Okay, so now that we're done with the concealer, my next step is going to be contouring. So I discovered these contour sticks and from Smashbox, and in my opinion way better than the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour, the cream contour palette, because I find it really hard to blend, and this one is just so easy. However, I also like to blend using a brush instead of my I don't know where it went, my what's it called, my beauty blender, that's what it's called, because it's easier and faster. It just is easier. But if you like to use a beauty blender, if that's easier for you, then, you know, go for it. So, okay, I'm always just going to do the contouring first, and I'll do the highlighting after, because I find it's easier to blend it in that way. So, just a little bit, and don't go like all the way to your mouth, because you'll have like some crazy contouring going on there. So both sides about halfway down. Then I usually go up the side, forehead, and then I usually do a little bit right in there, just cause. And then I like to chisel out my jawline, just cause. And then we're gonna shape nose. So kind of like so. So then I'm gonna grab my brush here and just start blending that in. Circular motions, kind of bring it down. Yeah, see, contouring, looking a little better already. Forehead, blend that, and you want to kind of blend it into your hairline too, because you don't want silly little contour lines. What is going on with my tele? Okay, so you want to blend that into the hairline. Make sure you don't see no visible lines. There you go. Okay, jawline, and tip for jawline when you're contouring it, circular motions, and then make sure you get in behind your ear. You don't want to like stop like right there, because that will look kind of silly. So get in behind your ear real good. And then other side. My phone's just going on nutso right now. Blend, blend, blend. See, now the way you contour your nose is going to be kind of different for everyone based on how you want your nose shape to kind of look. Mine, I've got this like bulb on the end of my nose. Thanks, Dad. And don't much like it. So I usually contour the end of my nose, make it a bit darker so that it doesn't stick out as much. And then we'll just contour sides. So, and again, this is why I always contour first and highlight after, because when you're blending everything in, I find it's hard to get it to look the way you want it to if the contour and the blending, holy smokes, the contour and the highlighting color are just blended into each other. So there we go. And tip here as well, when you're contouring your nose, make sure you go up to your eyebrows, because that's gonna give you the most natural look, I find. Da-da-da. Okay. Here you have it. Blend this up a bit more. I don't want it to look silly, right? Right. Okay. Now I'm going to do my highlight color. This one from Smashbox. Yep, it's the highlight color. There you go. Okay. And I'm going to highlight under my eyes and down beside your nose and give you like a little triangle effect, sort of, because it'll lift your cheekbones a bit. Okay, and then middle of your nose. T-zone, pretty much. There you go. And then Cupid's bow, just on the bottom there. Chin. And then to kind of make that contour a little cleaner there, because you just blended it, so now it's looking a little mucky. Just go, oh hello. Right in there. And then this side. right in there. And I'll give you a bit of a better looking contour once that's all done. So I'm going to use that same brush that I used to contour, blend the contour color, but I'm just going to spray it first with my brush cleaner so I'm not getting it all mucked up. Okay, look, it's very dry. Okay, so blend that in. So how sharp you want a contour line here kind of depends on how much you're going to blend in your highlight color. So I'm going to leave a bit of a line there just so it's a bit sharper, but you know, it's a bridal look, so you got to blend it in a bit. Like I said, you still want that looking more natural than runway-ish. So blend, blend, blend. And then blend the chin. And blend forehead. Circular motions. So this is definitely, I find, if you are new to contouring, like the easiest way to do it, using these contour and highlight sticks, because you can get your placement exactly where you want it, and it makes blending it so much easier. You can see exactly where you're putting it. Yucky colors on there, and then just blend that down. In circles. So I find when you're highlighting your nose, don't blend it too much into the sides, because then you're gonna lose that shape that you're building with your nose. And then I always just take the small brush too and just go under the eyes again, just because there's usually a little bit of product there that didn't blend in quite the way you want it to, just because the other brush is a little bit too fat. Next, I'm going to use my little bronzer, and I'm going to use that to just kind of set the cream contour and kind of give a little more definition. So just like, you don't want to blend in your contour line too much that you just did, so just go kind of lightly above that blended line. I don't know if that makes any sense. That totally does not make sense, but yeah, see, like, that's good enough. Other side, a little bit. And I like to kind of blend that up too, because that's gonna give you a more natural look. And then forehead. Again, contouring is really, like, especially if you're new to it, you just kind of do what you want, you know, like, whatever. There is really no rule to contouring. Just kind of however you want your face shape to look, I guess, is what I would recommend. Okay, next I'm going to use a blush, and I'm going to use this blush that I found at Shoppers, and it's just by Quo, and it's like a really nice light pink, but it's got a little bit of a shimmer in it, so like not sparkly shimmery, just nice shimmery. So I'm going to use that for my bridal look because, I don't know, gives your skin more of a dewy finish, which is what you, I guess, kind of want. So just lightly blend that in. Okay, done with that. Next I'm going to take this fan brush that I have, and I'm going to take my Hourglass, it's the strobe lighting powder, highlighting powder in Brilliant. Just put some of that on there and just like sweep it over the cheekbones, just for a little bit of highlighting effect. And then, so I go just kind of over the cheekbones, and then I go up on my forehead, pretty much anywhere the light is gonna hit your face, right? And then your chin a bit, Cupid's bow, and nose. And there you have it. So I'm going to do a bridal look for the eyes next, and it's going to be pretty minimalistic, pretty simple, because I'm going to be using a lip shade as well, and I'm not doing a nude lip. It'll be kind of a pinkish color, and I don't want it to look clownish. You don't want too much going on. So I picked up this baby the other day from Sephora. It is the Tartelette Amazonian Clay Matte Palette, and I tend to lean towards matte colors just because I like them better. No rhyme or reason. I just like them better. So I'm going to start off with, okay, well, first of all, for a wedding, you're going to want your makeup to last. So I would use an eye primer before you do your makeup, because it's going to make it stay, it's going to make it last, and it's going to make the colors look better too, actually. So the primer that I usually use is the MAC Painterly. Here, I'll open it up. I've had it since my wedding, like years ago. There we go. So it's just a primer, just same color as your skin. And tip with primer, don't glob it on too thick thinking that it'll work better the thicker it is. This is going to prevent your makeup for creasing, and if you put it on too thick, it's just going to look even worse than if you wouldn't have done anything. So bad idea to use too much of that. Just a nice amount is good. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush just to put on a color that's, like, I usually just start with a color that's the same shade as my skin, because reason for that being, I find it makes the other colors a lot easier to apply and blend in if there's already that light shade on there. That's my natural color. It's pretty much the exact same shade as my skin. So in this one, I'm using the one in the corner there. This one, can you see? Right there. It's called Supermom. That's what it's called. Okay, so I have that, got that on. So the next shade you're going to use is your transition color, and you can go a little bit darker because your transition color is going to be right in your crease, and that's just going to give you a good blended look from the top to the bottom without having that like harsh line. So I'm going to use a shadow brush that's got a bit of a point to the top, right? I don't know if you can see that. Is it easier to see like that? Yeah, it's got a bit of a point to the top, so I find it gets into the crease really well. So I'm going to use the shade right here. Oh, cannot see. That one. It's called Wanderer. And that will be my transition shade. So just right in the crease. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Kind of. There we go. So I like to use my transition shade, this crease shade that I'm using. I like to use that under my lashes too, because that kind of gives you a little more depth. So I'm just gonna go right under there, just a little bit. And I find this palette's got pretty good pigmentation too, so again, another reason why you don't need a lot, 'cause a little bit will take you a long way. So That's my transition shade. So for this look, I'm actually just going to use some browns, I guess, because they're not as harsh as using blacks and grays. So for a wedding, that will be my goal. Less harsh. So I think I'm going to use this top shade here. I think I'm going to keep that up this time. I'm going to use the top shade. There. It's kind of a dark brown. It's called Multitasker. So to get this color on, I'm going to use more of a dense brush. I don't know if you can see that. It's, you know what, with the color of the wall behind me, it's probably easier to see it against the wall. Yeah, it's a dense brush. So the reason I'm using more of a dense brush to get the color on is because I'm going to put it most in the corner, and you want to just put the color where you want it and then use your fluffy brush to just blend it. Because, like I said, dark colors, I mean, usually a little goes a long way. So I just kind of put it into the crease, like up into the crease on the side, and then kind of blend it up. See what I mean? You got a little bit of depth now, and it's still kind of natural looking. So I put all my color into the outer corner, into the outer edge of the crease, and then down towards the lash line. So kind of creating like a V shape on the outer edge here. So you kind of want down, ouch, don't stab yourself in the eye, down and up into the crease. So I'm just gonna make sure I got that the way I want it, and then kind of just blend it into your lash line as well. Again, you want natural looking, not too much drama. So I'll just do the other one. So just pull that up into the crease a bit, pull that down, and then blend it into the lash line. Like so. So yeah, and then just kind of make sure they look relatively similar. Do they look similar? Yeah, okay. Just get a bit more on so that when I blend it out, it's got more movable product, I guess. Okay, so now I've got my color where I want it, and I'm gonna put a little bit too, that's why I like this dense brush too, a little bit of that color along the lower lash line, just in the corner. And blend, always blend. Okay, so now to blend in the eyeshadow that I rated on the top, where I put all the color, I'm going to take a fluffy brush, and for this I'm going to use, it's a MAC brush, and the number got all figured it out. Why do I keep putting my hand there? I can't see anything. Okay, so that's my brush. It's all nice and fluffy. It's not really dense like the other one was, so that'll blend really well. So just start in the outer corner, pull it towards or throughout the rest of the crease there. So tip here, if you want the color to kind of, like most of the color to stay where you put it, blend in a circular motion. And then if you want it to kind of be pulled throughout the crease, use like a windshield wiper motion. If you want, like if you use a windshield wiper motion where you want the color to stay, it's not going to look the way you want it because you're going to be moving around way too much product. So there, that one's a little more blended now than this one. So same thing on this side. Okay, so that's like a really natural kind of matte look. For bridal look too, I usually like to add in just a little bit of shimmer just to the your eyeballs, the front of your lid there, just in the middle there. That's where you want it. Pretty much, again, where the light's gonna hit, that's where you kind of want your highlight to go. So I'm going to take another, this one's a little kind of fluffy but dense at the same time, sort of, whatever. So I'm using for this the MAC, here, I'll close that lid for you, you can actually see what I mean. The MAC, All That Glitters. I use this one a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's called All That Glitters from MAC. So it's just got a bit of a shimmer to it. I really like it. It's really good to use it as a highlighter too. Some people use one as an actual highlighter, like along your cheekbones. So I'm gonna put this right in the middle. See how it creates a little bit of like a shimmer there? I got shimmer. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. There we go. And I'll post some like close-up pictures on my Instagram later too of what it looks like close up, so you can see a little bit more detail. So I'm going to take that fluffy brush again, and I'm going to again spray it with my brush cleaner. Okay, and a brush cleaner that I really like, it's the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner, because it dries like instantly, so, and it just takes all the color off right away. So I just spray that on it, just on a paper towel, take all your color off, and it's dry. You can use it again. So yeah, stuff's awesome. So I'm gonna blend that in a bit now, just into the top. Again, I'm not gonna blend it so much into the dark color because it's gonna start looking muddy, so I'm just gonna blend it near like the inner corner and up. Okay. Done. So I'm going to do the lashes still, but I'm going to do that last because I just like to do it last. So next I'm going to do my eyebrows. So for my eyebrows I'm going to be using this is a brush, like a flat angled, this one hard to see, yeah, it's like an angled brush. And it's got like a spoolie on the end, so you can brush away. So I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony, because I have some dark ass eyebrows. So first things first, you want to kind of brush them, brush the hair in the direction you want, right? So, and kind of follow the way that your brows already go. So if your brow hairs grow up, brush them up. If your brow hairs grow to the side, brush them to the side. You just want it to look natural. For me, my eyebrows grow completely different from each other. This one doesn't even grow past there, thanks to my lovely sister who smashed her head against mine when we were in school and gave me a nice set of stitches right on my eyebrow. Thank you for that. So I gotta draw in pretty much most of my eyebrows after that point and down. So the way I do it is just dab a little bit onto your brush. Onto your brush. You can see. And I start usually on the bottom. You want to start on the bottom. I'm going to move a little bit closer so I can see myself in the mirror. Start on the bottom and then just kind of follow a bit of your natural, follow your natural shape because you want it to look normal. And then you're just kind of drawing in your brow shape. Okay, and what I told my sister too, when it comes to your eyebrows, they are sisters, not twins. Your eyebrows will never look identical, so don't try. It's just gonna, you'll be sitting there for hours just getting so frustrated. Been there, done that. It's not fun. So I usually just do the bottom line first. I draw the shape of the bottom of my eyebrow first, and then I'll draw the outer edge so that I know what shape I want. Kind of like so. Can you see? And then just kind of brush it to kind of move the product through your hair a bit. And then just kind of fill it in. And when you fill it in too, I usually start filling from the bottom so that way I can use the spoolie on the end of my brush to kind of move it up through the rest of my eyebrow so that it looks more natural. So for me, the back of my eyebrow is never going to look totally natural. At least not in comparison to the rest of my eyebrow, just because there is like no hair there. But it's whatever. So there I've got my eyebrow pretty much like drawn in the back. I've got it filled in on the bottom. I've got the shape on the bottom. And then I usually just kind of bring whatever's left on my brush, I kind of just move it through the front of my eyebrow to, I don't know, just fill it in a bit. Okay, so then I'm going to use my spoolie end and just kind of soften the color up a bit. Brush it through. Make it look natural as possible. So that's one of them. So, you know, the other one, getting them to look similar is an issue for me because they grow so differently. It's like my eyebrows, I swear, they look differently. Every single time I do them, it's different. So again, start on the bottom, and I usually start about, like, not right at the edge, start about there-ish. Try to get them to look a little similar. So kind of fill that in, pull it through the hair, and just kind of take whatever's left and brush it through the front. Brush it through to move your product around. So there you have it. I'm going to take my brow gel to seal it so it's not going to go anywhere. So for this I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills again clear brow gel, and this stuff is like glue, man. You put this on, your eyebrows are not going nowhere. So just stick that on. Brush it with the natural shape direction of your hair growth. Done. They're sealed. And now I'm going to take one of my little fluffy brushes, and I'm going to take my Hourglass highlighting powder again, and I'm just going to put a little bit where I just put that concealer, just to give a bit of a highlight. So right there. And because it's so light, it'll just blend in nicely with the rest of your makeup on your eye. There we go. A little bit right there. Okay. Eyebrows are done. So that's kind of your eye look without the lashes, of course. And I'll add that at the very end so that you can kind of see what it looks like once all is said and done. So I'm going to use the same color that I posted on my Instagram post yesterday. So I'm just going to be mixing like a light pink and like a dusty rose. So I'm going to start with the lip primer. It's Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer. I know. So there we go. Okay, so to line, I'm going to line first, and then I'm going to fill it in a little bit with the line so it's more of like a uniform color once it's all said and done. So I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Lip Pencil in Good Timing. So it's like a lighter pink. So I'm doing your lips really hard to do on the camera because like I can't see, can't get close enough. Okay, so they're lined in like it's a pretty light pink, but they're not going to be super light pink when I'm done. It's going to be more of like a dusty. So next I'm going to use as kind of like a base color. I'm going to use my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Tokyo. This one is really light pink, so you'll probably see quite a bit of a difference once it's on. So with these colors, like they've got these applicators like that. Because I use these on like other people in a kit too, I find with these a lot you gotta like make sure you've got like a lip pencil, a lip brush. This is my lip brush. Make sure you've got a lip brush to use. And then just take some color and just like put it on the back of your hand so that you don't have to stick anything on your face and then use it on someone else because ew. So put a little bit of color on your pencil and fill that in. And I like these as a base too because the color is really nice. And this like matte lip stuff, it just like it stays. So the lips too, make sure you're kind of blending really well with like the liner too, especially if you don't like that harsh liner look. If you like the liner look, do what you want. But if you don't like that liner look, you gotta make sure you're blending. So I'm just gonna spray this to take the color off because I'm going to be putting another color over top. So the color I'm putting over top is my Estee Lauder. It's called Dune Rose. And this is that dusty rose color that I like. It's less like, I find bright pink is so like, I don't know, cheerleader looking. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that girly. Okay, so again, even with like lipsticks, because you're using them on other people too, I just kind of take a chunk out of it with the end of my brush, stick it on the back of my hand, like so. And that way I can just use my brush. Because I find when you stick it on the back of your hand too, like not only is it way more sanitary to do that, but you also have to use like way less of it because you're not like gliding that stick all over the place, doing like multiple layers. You can use your brush. Okay, so I'm going to take this dusty rose color. Fill it in. there we go. That's it. So that's kind of your bridal look, and I will just add on lashes and stuff and kind of show you what it looks like completely finished. Okay, and we are done. This is the final look. So I just added like a really natural kind of wispy pair of lashes, and then I took a matte black eyeshadow and just with like a angled brush, I just ran like a matte black shadow just along the spine of the eyelash so you can't see the actual eyelash spine, like where it starts. So it looks more natural this way. So that's it. There you have it.